Before we get into today's episode, we'd like to thank our sponsors, Pinspired Art Souvenirs and Pinspired Art Gallery, for believing in small city creative lives. Your support fuels the space for honest conversations and the sharing of real, meaningful stories from our creative community.
Literature does not begin on stage. It begins in a quiet room, in an idea someone dares to say out loud, in a city that decides its stories matter. This year feels different. Dumaguete is no longer just a city that loves literature. It is officially recognized as a UNESCO City of Literature. And with that comes responsibility, imagination, and maybe even pressure. Today, we talk about how Duma Lit Fest came to be, what this title truly means, and why this moment matters. We have two very special guests today. We have Renz and Sir Ian, who are actually the brains and why Dumaguete became a city of literature. Yeah. So, hi everyone. This is Sky, and this is Sil. Welcome to our episode today. So, yeah. Do you mind it?
Okay, so first of all, how are you guys?
Jake? Sis, we had like a late night last night and we're still kind of recovering from it. But we're doing good.
Okay.
How about you guys? Wait, today's like super busy and you're still with us recording. We're so thankful.
BC is like the default. So
So you're used to it.
yeah.
They're really used to it. So thank you so much for collaborating with us for this. We are so grateful. You wait, I guess no, you guys are our second guest on this podcast. Yeah, so you guys are our second guest. It's such an honor to have the two of you here. So yeah, how do we start this? Wait, we're so intimidated. Oh my
Feeling really get and stop. Actually,
We just put on pants one leg at a time.
Okay. So about like how Dumalit Fest began. Maybe we can start there first. The origin story.
Okay, I've always wanted to have a literary festival in Dumaguete since forever.
Yeah.
I know there are so many things going on for Dumaguete in terms of literature and creative writing, and I've been to like literary festivals all over the Philippines, like in Cebu, in Davao, things like that. We had the Tabuana 2 years ago, and that kind of gave me an idea. We can probably do something like this on a regular basis. And actually, like, yeah, so it has been a dream for the longest time. And there was actually one time I tried testing it, like just planning a lit fest on the fly because a few years ago, maybe before the mga 5 years before the pandemic, we had a budget. We had a bunch of really famous Asian American writers, Filipino American writers visiting us.
I think it was
And then
13.
yeah, something like that, 2013, 2014. And they were like, can we do something while we're in Dumaguete? I was like, this really, really sikat, especially in American writers in Dumaguete. What can I do? Okay, let's do a lit fest for a day. So we actually did the entire thing in the at the Siliman Library, and we actually incorporated the same design that we have for the Lit Fest today, like panels one after the other, something like that, and it was really really successful. A 1 day literary festival. So
Where was this held?
at the Siliman Library,
Your library.
I had a vision of a couch, something like that. So
Okay, I think I remember that.
yeah, if we can do this, then maybe someday we can do something more bonga, more like a full-fledged festival. But I don't know if you go to other literary festivals, there will usually be panels going on at the same time. Besides then it should be a big venue. Yeah, so I had to think about like what can we possibly do design for Dumaguete given the fact that we are not used to this particular kind of format. So yeah, it was a dream. But like all pipe did always say, I wish we could do this. I wish someday you never really do it. Until finally I met with Gail and Ernest. We were having snacks somewhere. Actually in that across the road.
Mm-hmm.
The
That was Zuputi before.
uh
Or block.
the one that used to sell those very, very strong drinks. What was that?
No, I don't.
No, you're familiar with this stuff.
I'm not.
There's some drinks, the vodka drinks.
Vodka drinks. Con.
I know that. Oh, that was my
The Italian, yeah, Chicito.
That was so long.
We were in that particular place, and then I told them, I've always wanted to do something like this. At that time, I think Gail just opened Liberia, and they were listening to me daydreaming about a participle lit fest. And apparently they went home, Gail and Ernest. And a few days later, they said, "Sir, we are going to make your dreams happen."
Was that like the turning point? The dream became a reality?
If other people want to invest their time and their effort to something like this, then let's go for it. So that was in 2023.
Yeah.
Yeah. So by 2024, we had our first one. In the 2025, the second one, and this year will be our third. But it's still small, and like it's like just a bunch of us try to make these things happen. But we do have a goal that by the fifth year, we want this to be international.
At least one international guest to come here.
Yeah, so that's the dream, and hopefully to be more professionalized, and hopefully something that can pay all of us are organizing all of these things because we want to be paid for our efforts. Right now, it's
Right
all
now, it's
through,
like
yeah.
passion project, right? Just like this podcast. So this is all just like a passion project. We're not monetized at all. But that's really our purpose.
So we
Yeah,
want to be paid for
maybe
those
in a
efforts.
few years.
Yeah.
Or if we get enough like
So-
support.
Yeah. So yeah, it began like that.
Lauren, it took about like more than a decade for you guys to finally make it happen.
Because things happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, but was there a time na you thought, no, oh, I don't think this is gonna happen.
The hope is alive, but there are
Yeah.
no machinations for us to like, hey, is somebody applying for a
Yeah.
festival? We have a lot of money and a lot
And the
of effort.
thing is, the kind of person that I am, I usually do everything on my own. And I know I couldn't pull off something like this on my own.
Yeah.
Well, that one in Siriman, I kind of just did it on my own. I was the coordinator of the Ed Belton Tiempo Creative Writing Center at the time, so I kind of had like at least some infrastructure within the English department to be able to do that, to push the front. I just mostly did it on my own. You know what I mean? So, but I know something like this, I don't think I can say that.
On a bigger scale.
Yeah,
Yeah.
than
and
the-
I just kind of become heartened by the fact that other people like Gail and Ernest would saying, "Let's do this." So the fact that other people, it's just the fact of other people wanting to do your dream for you that really gave me a big boost, and we did it.
For context, Ernest and Gail, they own Library, which is a bookstore in ADCD. So, yeah.
So the fact that there's Arts and Design Collective, the Daniel, it just everything just fell into place.
Both of them are like doing a lot for the creative community at Dumaguete. So we're very thankful for the both of them. They're amazing.
Yeah. I mean, the whole collective is really like, we can't do anything without them,
Yeah.
for sure.
It's amazing how
I was actually there when we first broached the idea of a collective. And this was before the
pandemic.
Like,
yeah.
we had a meeting in what's her name?
In the apartment of Nicholas and Sandra.
Sandra.
They opened on the crypto apartment.
They had an apartment somewhere in Amigo,
yes.
and where the old Desert Sagon was. We had a meeting with local artists. It was like a night before the
Everything
lockdown
shut down.
happened.
Yeah. Because they opened up their
Yeah.
they opened up their
So we talked
apartment
about
because they wanted to showcase
they
photography.
just had autograph. They just had an exhibit somewhere in the International Photography Fair or an art fair about it. Yeah. And the artist was here. Well, he's a local, so he found about the art, and somehow that kind of got to the. We came to the discussion. We need to find a place where we can be a collective, and we were actually thinking of the GSIS building. You know, like
Was the Cliento is still right to be used, but no more.
we don't know that. Like, yeah.
let's do this. So of course the pandemic happened, and
Yeah.
okay, that dream is gone. But Sandra kept at it and opened it during the pandemic, and now we're part of it.
And it's doing strong. And there's the community.
But actually, a few months before that, Razel and I actually thought of doing something like this, a collective. Razel
Salvaritan Salvarita.
like a year before Sandra came in, and yeah, so like let's find a house in Dumaguete where we can invite other artists to like collaborate, to have a collaborative space. We actually approached some. We approached Sharon. Like, do you want to do something that we can rent together a space and we can have tiny offices inside it and do our own thing? Because I was inspired by this particular design firm in New York, where it's a collective and each artist have their own company, but together they form like a big company. So I was inspired by that particular idea. Art is doing things together in the same spot. But I don't know, we scouted some buildings in Dumaguete. We actually found one near San Juan. And then Russell left for Bacolod. Na, okay, that's not going to happen. And then Sandra came in, and now it's all happened.
So there were a lot
So,
of
yeah.
hurdles for
Hurdles, yeah. A lot of false
it wasn't
starts.
easy.
But it had to take someone, usually somebody new in Dumaguete, who would actually shape our dreams into reality.
Yeah, someone who's not jaded by small townness.
Yeah. Sometimes we in Dumaguete artists, we have so many dreams, but we can be so jaded. It takes an outsider to tell us we can need this or me.
Definitely.
We like to talk about this before. I hope this was a topic before we as artists could hear na parang it's this cute thing.
So intimidated and like
Well, the placement was it's we become contented cows because it's so comfortable here. We have done so many things on our own in a very very specific way for a long time, so we don't really move. And then an outsider comes in saying, "Let's do this," and then oh yeah, they whip up into shape, and then voila, our dreams happen.
yeah.
So thank God for Gayo.
Thank-
Because now they're no longer Sandra. Thank God for Sandra. Okay, they're locals now, but they did help shape all of these things.
So going back to Lit Fest, what makes this festival different from the Cebu or the Manila festivals?
I'd like to answer that.
Yeah, go.
Okay, we really knew what we wanted the Lit Fest to be right from the very beginning. We took note of what's happening in Manila, in Cebu, in Davao, and in Iloilo, and then we kind of noticed that everything is usually around a mall.
Yeah.
Everything is big, everything is formal, everything is commercialized, especially Cebu at the time. Like I'm best friends with the founder of Cebu Lit Fest, but I kind of be I have to told him that Henry, Cebu Lit Fest is becoming too commercial.
Is it inside the mall? Are you saying
This is at the mall. It's saying literary. Many of the pianos are becoming less and less literary.
Yeah, they just a sideshow, ganon. So
Because it started incorporating other
But
elements.
Henry kasi is a businessman for first and foremost. So
And we're not trying to lambast him for
that's his own way of doing it, and he's been successful at it. Okay, so but if I said that if I want to do a Lit Fest, it will be different from all of
It'll be literary.
all these other festivals going on. So we kind of concentrated on a few things, kind of centered on our mantra nga, Dumaguete chill, which means that we will not hold it in a mall. So our heritage house, like the one where ADCD is right now,
It has more soul.
Yeah.
For
You want it to be small.
even though it's intimate at the moment, but you know you can really see.
we don't want it to be big. So for the most part, just like one programming. Although in the second year we tried to have multiple simultaneous programming, it did not work. It kind of worked a little bit, but we don't want to do it again. So just one programming, okay. And we didn't want everybody to come in
Formal.
formal clothes, so you can come in wearing chinelas,
yeah?
wearing sandok. Even our guests, okay. We even thought of like, okay, we will have vans, but for the most part, our main transport is a pedicab.
Yeah, so it's so
Local.
local, very local. Like, it's very Dumaguete.
Small, intimate, chill. That was our vision of how the Dumaguete Lit Fest should be. And in fact, we would receive some blowback, especially from sponsors. Like, why don't you hold it in a mall? Because I think they're thinking of like traffic,
Yeah.
foot traffic going. Because like, I know that's their thinking, but we really persist. No, to make our event, to make our Lit Fest special, it has to be chill. Dumaguete chill. It will not be chill at all if we hold it in Robinsons. We've had Robinsons before, and especially for 600 Papa.
Yeah, si Sanit Lapel. Deep working with the DTI.
I get how it can be successful there, like the way Anton of DTI designed 600 Pop-Up, the center panel. It worked. But if you notice, yeah, people can go there, but you're basically like talking to people passing by. It's like it feels like I'm not the center of the attention here. We're not really here for literature.
You get too overstimulated when you're in a ball. So all of your attention is like distracted, and then you just like your attention spans everywhere.
But the 2 years that that Anton and Razel did 600 Pop-Up, that was really
Very
good. Well, the way they design it.
Yeah,
So-
that was my first experience.
We can actually do it in a mall, like if it's arranged that way, but we chose to have it in a heritage house.
Yeah. So,
So,
during
yeah.
the early stages, what was the toughest hurdle that you faced?
Our mental health.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
All of us have ADHD. All of us are bipolar. All of us are. Each one of us, except Ernest, probably. Ernest is the only sane one in the whole organization.
which is really telling.
Yeah. So, for example, I have ADHD, so I have executive dysfunction. Gail is super shy. I think he has ADHD as well. Tara has bipolar depression, so sometimes like getting the work done is very very hard to do.
Because he's
So
such a
but we
crazy
understand each other. So there are months where we don't do anything at all. Okay, we cannot. Okay, but we all understand each other.
Yeah.
But for the most part, everything just gel. And then when people ask us who organized this, and then we point to just the five of us, and they're like, "What? Only five of you are doing this?" Yes. And they're so amazed by the fact that only so very few people are doing everything, and all of us have mental health issues. So
They really don't know how we
Are we the same?
Yeah.
Like,
You know,
I don't know.
so
as an anchor.
it goes to show that when you have mental health, it doesn't really stop you from doing the things that you love. Although it is all different for each person.
I do wish you don't have it, because the organization will be probably better.
But we also have great ideas because of the brains are in the operation. It's just
So for example, I know I cannot function if I don't have double.
a double.
So I actually introduced this rule now. We need to meet at least every Sunday, because I cannot work on Lit Fest stuff if I'm not surrounded by you people.
Yeah.
So I really mean fully there working, because the rest of the week I cannot, because I'm doing all other stuff also, and I cannot concentrate. So I use our meeting to be able to do Lit Fest stuff, because my cannot handle like doing it on my own.
I understand. I really understand because I struggle sometimes with like being yeah, with attention, and sometimes I get very like I am a social person, but then my battery drains so fast. And once it gets drained, I don't want to talk to anyone. I just want to be with like the person I'm with.
I'm a
That's
fake
it.
extrovert actually.
A fake.
Because I can be very very social. I can be like
I think
can, like-
you're still an ambivert or something because we do get we are still extroverted in a way, but we still need to be introverted.
Yeah.
So we're ambivert.
So it takes me 5 days to recharge as for every. I probably will take one day after this particular interview.
I think the difference is that some people gain energy from social interaction, like Ernest, and some people get drained.
Drained.
Like Gail and me,
Yeah.
the rest of us.
But I mean, we're having fun with the things that we're doing, and it feels very fulfilling.
And I think
So
part of the success is really the way Dumaguete is kind of made up psychologically speaking. The way we do things in Dumaguete is very different compared to Manila or Cebu. Like if you are in Manila, everything is like organized, like they do everything through email, and things have to be planned way in advance. You cannot do that in Dumaguete. You
People
plan
don't
2
respond
weeks
to it.
before. Nobody reads emails except for Messenger.
or WhatsApp.
So it's
So understandably, as an outsider, you would approach Dumaguete and like
I'm a millennial organizer looking at the way Dumaguete does stuff will be flummoxed and will totally be frustrated.
crash and burn.
But we make things happen. Like I'll give you an example. Like we just gave a tribute to Ma'am Betty Macan last Sunday.
She's the Cinnamon president.
She's outgoing. We had planned. We met once, like since February. The organizers, but we did have rehearsal. We didn't know what to do, and we had our first rehearsal Sunday 1 p.m.
on the day.
and then the same day 4 p.m. is the show.
Oh my god.
And that was the first time everybody got together. That was the first time we knew these people are coming. That was when we finished the script. But the show was beautiful. And I always believe that that's how Dumaguete works. Like everything last minute, but we do it beautifully. Like I wish na sometimes we don't do that. Because I know probably our events will be probably more successful.
Everyone's panicking for sure.
Yeah, but the thing is sometimes when you organize
On the fly.
when you organize like properly, like a month in advance, nothing happens. So I don't know. Maybe Dumaguete is an ADHD city.
Don't quote us on that.
No. You bleep.
Have you noticed that when you organize things? So like if you do something like a week before, that's when things happen. But when you plan it like 3 months in advance, nothing will happen.
I think it's like the pressure probably of like the deadlines.
Yeah.
It makes us more focused on that particular thing so that
Yeah.
it's
And also like when you advertise your event like 2 weeks before, nobody will know.
People
No.
will forget that.
And then
3 days.
yeah, like if you put up the poster 3 days in advance, 3 days, that's when people come.
Yeah.
And then actually like 10 minutes before the show, there's nobody.
that's why
And then right on time, everybody goes like, where did all of these people come from? Like at the last minute, that always.
that's what people I noticed that's what they like here. So what I do usually is like I advertised a little maybe 2 weeks prior, just like soft advertisement.
Yeah. So
And then when it comes to like the event like this, near came around 3 days, 4 days, spamming everything.
Yeah.
And then that's when
And then don't worry if nobody is there 5 minutes before the show. Because by 8 o'clock, by 7 o'clock, whatever your time is, that's when everybody's there.
exactly.
I have no idea why we are like that. I'm scared the way we are like
I
that,
know.
but it seems to work. But I don't think we should bank on that.
No. I think
This
it's
is
going to change
scary.
in like a few years. But
Are you sure?
I'm hoping. I really hope.
Anyway.
Yeah. So I mentioned earlier that we are now a UNESCO city of literature.
Sorry, we're talking about mental health.
No, it's okay. That's okay. It's really
Why
fine. Yeah. I mean, we actually have an episode planned to be like to focus on mental health issues.
Invite us.
Yes, that's in a near. That's a privilege.
In fact, we're thinking of like just an aside, we're actually we're speaking of doing a support group for mental health.
Where do we sign up?
Because we need that. We definitely need that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, going back to this, we are now a UNESCO city of literature, and it's all thanks to you guys.
just us.
Just you guys, but I mean, you guys are part of why we became a UNESCO city of literature. Can you please share how you started, like how we became one? And
Okay.
Again, this is like a dream in the making because of our, I guess, exposure to other kanang cities of literature, or even not knowing na they are cities of literature. We know that it exists. So it would be a dream na Dumaguete would become one. But it wasn't really in the cards.
Yeah.
until-
Okay. This my story is I was the Philippine as representative to the International Writing Program in Iowa in 2010. And prior to that, 2 years before 2010, but 2008, Iowa City was declared a UNESCO City of Literature. So I was already aware of that. But the program of the UNESCO has been there since 1994, I think. I'm not sure. And the first one is Edinburgh.
Yeah.
That's the first city of literature. So anyway, so I was in Iowa City in 2010. And when I arrived, I actually didn't feel homesick at all because it really felt like Dumaguete. Like it's just a blonde Dumaguete. In fact, Rowena Tiempo Torrevillas, a writer from Dumaguete who lives there, calls it her blonde Dumaguete because it's exactly like Dumaguete. Americanized na. Like small town, a small town city with a university in the middle of it. And it has a very, very strong literary culture.
But instead of the seas, you're surrounded by
Yeah.
corn.
Yeah, just replace the cornfields with dagat, Dumaguete, and Lucia. So I never really felt homesick because I got so much Dumaguete vibe when I was there. So I was going around and I would go along the sidewalk, and then the sidewalk they would have like manholes, literary codes, and of course the literary programs of the university very, very strong. A lot of Nobel Prize winners going there to give talks. So yeah, so like okay. And they only had one bookstore. Well, two used bookstores, but one official bookstore. Like Dumaguete.
Yeah.
So I was like, if they can do it,
Why not
I can't.
Dumaguete?
so I came home in 2010, and then in 2012, I became the coordinator of the Edilberto and Edith Tiempo Creative Writing Center because it was founded at that particular year. So I began like planting the seeds of Dumaguete becoming a city of literature, not really believing it can happen because there's such like suntok sa buwan, like, oh my God, like, this will never happen. But I'm always like, let's do it anyway. So by 2013, I actually did an exhibit at the library titled Cities of Literature, where I kind of did an exhibit comparing Dumaguete and Iowa City. Because Iowa City and Dumaguete actually have a very, very strong connection. So for example, I went to the International Writing Program, right, the IWP. That program in Iowa was actually birthed in Dumaguete. because the founder is the teacher of the Tiempos.
Yes.
So when the Tiempos founded the workshop in Dumaguete, they invited their old teacher, Paul Engel, to come to Dumaguete to become a panelist. And then he saw what was happening here in Dumaguete. He saw the fellows who were, a lot of them were foreigners, and he said, maybe we can do something like this in Iowa. So when he went up to Iowa, that was when he founded the International Writing Program, which was responsible for Iowa City to become a UNESCO city of literature. But it had, again, a strong Dumaguete connection. Okay, and a lot of our alumni here were actually students of Iowa. Okay, so very, very strong.
Yeah.
So, for
Very
example,
moment.
the one book that kind of chronicles how the Iowa became what it is one editor of that is Rubina Tiempo Torrivillas, again from Dubai. So again, strong connection. So I made that exhibit. Like I exhibited the works of like alumni of the Silliman workshop who were also alumni of the International Writing Program in Iowa. So that was my exhibit in 2013, titled "Cities of Literature."
Foreshadow.
And then of course every time I would I would be given a chance to talk about it, I would talk a lot. And then finally in started pop up, I kind of talk about it, why we need to improve the creative economy in Dumaguete in terms of literature, why we need to be a city of literature. So DTI, Anton, were already listening. Okay. Also Nimfa, the previous director of DTI. So they were listening to me talking about this all of the time, okay? Because of She Started Pop Up. And then finally in 2021, 2022, we had that one 6 turn pop up where I really talked about it. And then of course DTI was one of our primary sponsor for the first Dumaguete Literary Festival. And my opening speech was again about becoming a city of literature.
Yes.
Because we need to improve our creative economy via literature.
You were
But
mentioning
at that time, I was working with city tourism.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? And then the former city tourism officer, Jacqueline Antonio, actually asked me, Ian, can you do a white paper examining whether we can, what particular destination we can apply to UNESCO? So I did that. So around the pandemic, before the pandemic, I actually submitted to the former mayor Remolio 2 white papers: Dumaguete becoming a city of music or city of literature. And in fact, in my findings for that white paper, we are actually better off, given that what we have, to become city of music.
Yes. Yeah.
But I'm a writer, so I kind of I prefer literature. But I submitted both. But the pandemic happened and nothing has to do siya. Until the DTI people, Ma'am Nimfa and Anton, they went to a conference in Cebu where it was all about like really strengthening the creative economy of the Philippines. And one of the speakers basically said nga, we need to have more Philippine cities apply to the UNESCO Creative Cities Network. So they arrived from Cebu to Dumaguete. They called me up, Ian, can you and Renz meet us for coffee in Adorno Cafe? I thought it was just coffee with friends. And that was August 2023. 2024. 2024. Okay. So, coffee with friends. And then they dropped the bombshell. Ian, we need to apply to become UNESCO City of Literature because you have been always talking about it. And I was like, okay, finally. Again, I need people to
Yes.
push my dream because I cannot do it alone. So okay, I have backup na. This one is government. Okay, let's do this. When are we supposed to submit? There's a deadline. The process usually, the city has to apply to the UNACOM. The UNACOM is the Philippine Commission for the UNESCO. And they will receive all of these applications from all cities in the Philippines. But it's the UNACOM who will determine who they will endorse to the UNESCO.
Okay.
So there's a pre-bid, a pre-application. Yeah. So I asked Ma'am Nimfa and Anton in August 2024, when's the deadline? That was like right before Founders Day. I got around August 15, right before my birthday. The deadline is August 30 or something like that. Like at the end of the month, what? And then they gave me the application form. It was the hardest application
It was like
form.
what, 24 pages
Yeah, well, 8 pages, but like 8 pages of questions.
of
So
questions.
you can of course
Extrapolate.
it will be expanded because there's questions and then sub questions, and then each sub question tells you you can only write 300 characters.
Yeah.
Characters, not words.
Not even
Okay,
words.
so that was like the most tiring 1 week of my life. Like trying to put together a pre-bid for Dumaguete. So just to be able to give to the deadline of the UNACOM. And so we did. I didn't sleep.
Oh my god.
But I did. So after we submitted it to the UNACOM,
Definitely.
I forgot about it. Maybe I didn't want to think about it until finally UNACOM contacted us by November. Nga, okay, you and Quezon City will be our endorsements to the UNESCO. So that means then if we are the official endorsements, then we will have to work.
Yeah.
That's when we really have to make the final applications
So it
with
didn't
all the
clear
requisites.
pa.
No, it didn't.
Because when I was writing that thing in August, I was just using my own imagination, like creating scenarios about Dumaguete becoming city of literature. With the final I have to ask people,
Okay.
like, what do you want to happen if Dumaguete will become a city of literature? So we had to create a technical working group. We gathered writers, booksellers, potential publishers, culture workers like NNP, so academe. We had to gather them by November 2025.
25.
Yeah.
24.
Yes.
24.
Yeah, 2024. Just to ask them what they want. Okay. So we were told that we were told nga endorsed me November 2024.
Yes.
Deadline was January 3. So we're like months to like work on it. So it was like again like gather together. Okay.
Yeah.
So but we did it. And then we got told around December nga, oh, they pushed back the deadline to March. Okay. So we can work from December 2024 to February 2025. But still, but the thing is, we're all busy, so we weren't really able to do a lot of this. We wanted to, like, for example, the documentary that we wanted to do, we weren't able to do that. Our website was pretty much rudimentary.
Yeah.
You guys needed
But
web-
we
Maybe
concentrated on the application.
Yeah.
So again, sleepless nights, okay, finalizing everything. But remember, the application for the UNESCO is not a private thing. It has to be endorsed by the
The LGBT movement. Yeah.
so it has to be the mayor who has to apply to UNESCO because this is not a private thing. So it was really a program spearheaded by me for Boglas Writers Guild, and then DTI with Ma'am Nimfa and Anton, and then of course Mayor Remolio, but being worked on by the city tourism officer who is Kathy
Aguilar.
Kathy Aguilar. So coming to Lugyud, yeah, the work on it. So again, sleepless nights until March, and then I remember going there like on the night of the deadline. We went to the mayor's house, and then we had to like kasi mo sign him. Sabi mo sign, so we had to like orienting us, sir, this is our application. We read him everything in one
Yes, in one night.
right before the midnight deadline. Okay,
Those too
so,
much.
and he had a party, so we had to wait for him to finish his
Oh my
party.
god.
So, muni sir, okay, go. So, dito mi sayang balay, like, okay, I don't want to run this area because I get scared. So, it had to be Anton who was like, okay, hey, there are like blanks that you need to fill in sa website. So, okay na yan? Okay, taste, entry, enter. And so, it was Anton who was doing the manual, transfer to the computer because I refused to do it because I was too nervous. And then, we pressed the submit button like right before midnight, like yay! And then again, like we were thinking, nah, we will probably not get it because the thing is, this is a very very hard application to do. Some cities apply, they rejected. Like for example, Iloilo, they had to apply twice because the first time they applied to the UNESCO Guild, they got rejected. But of course, they're now city of gastronomy, so it's not easy getting into this thing. So I was thinking, we don't have a documentary. Our website is very rudimentary. We only have the application. Let's just use this as practice. So maybe we can do better the next time. Because usually, because Quezon City and Dumaguete were the official endorsements. Usually, only one city per country will be represented by the UNESCO.
Yes, for
Okay.
film.
So yeah, for film ng Quezon City. So yeah, again, like okay, hopefully we can get it, but I'm not really banking on it. So of course, the announcement came during World Cities Day, which is like actually Halloween.
Halloween. Yeah.
That's World Cities Day. So he was hosting a Halloween
I was
program.
dressed as a bamboo.
One was as a Dracula, and I was there, and then I got a text from the city tourism officer. Ian, you got it, and I cried. cried so hard because like I finally felt the stress of 2 years.
Yeah.
So like
Slamming on
me
to
and then just being released because like oh my god we actually did it. Okay, so yeah, so we got it. That's the story physically.
So,
And the thing is, this is not a forever designation.
yeah. We have to renew it every 4 years.
Renew it every 4 years.
Yes.
Because if we do not work
Mm.
at it,
They're gonna remake it. Yeah.
which is so embarrassing.
It's really just a title. We don't get any money. We don't get any grants. It's really just UNESCO is an important
That's also one of our hurdles because people were actually asking us na, oh, this is a grant. Who will get the money? No, it's not a grant. It's a designation.
so it's just like a
With this,
title lang.
like, what does being a UNESCO City of Literature
Okay.
actually entail?
So there's no grant. Okay, so what we can get from this is basically one, the bragging rights. Okay, yeah, so you are known as a UNESCO City of Literature. Like wow, so you are a part now with, for example, Melbourne, Heidelberg in Germany, Reykjavik in Iceland,
Wellington.
Iowa City, Seattle, Edinburgh, Jakarta, and so forth. So there's that. Okay, so bragging rights. Okay, and so we're not just city of gentle people, which doesn't really mean anything, or university town, whatever that means. Okay, this one is really a designation by a
We have a
powerful body recognizing you for one particular aspect of your culture that is now considered great by the rest of the world. Okay, so there's that in bragging rights. Okay.
recognition.
Second one is that it actually, since there's no grant, but it kind of gives you access to the network.
Yeah.
Okay. The UNESCO Creative Cities program is basically something that the United Nations kind of created to kind of spur development in the creative economy. Our creative economy is always the one aspect of the economy that's usually looked down. Oh, what can artists do to control the economy? Ignored. But actually, if we make a study, our contribution to the economy is actually very, very great. Like in terms of like music, song, all of those things, film. They create work. They create, something to the economy.
Diba Ireland had a study wherein they invested money into
Yeah.
an artist program, and for every US dollar that they put into the program, generated around $1 and like about 85 cents, so almost twice the amount of money in the work that was able to be produced. So we know that putting money into artists, musicians generates not only work but also income.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
South Korea also did, like that's why we love K-pop now, we love K movies, K-drama, because the government really recognized nga in the art, it will really, really create, it's soft diplomacy. And it's a very, 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 very big economic factor here. So that's it. So it will actually stimulate by like so we get access to the network, so they can help us like what can we do to make the literary sector better, so we can have publishing and so on. So yeah, there's access,
Not just into connection to UNESCO, but connections to other cities of literature.
yeah. So it's not just just cities of literature. We can actually
Other cities of the design,
Not just them.
yeah.
not just literature.
It's a network, man.
Yeah.
Plus, if you are a writer in Dumaguete,
Mhm.
you can actually get residencies.
In other places, yes,
It's easier to apply.
it's either they
For writers. So the moment you are recognized as a Dumaguete writer,
We do that for artists.
all of these residencies are suddenly
open to you.
open for you.
Yes.
Okay, so there's that. Okay.
Great.
Okay. And of course, because of the network, it will kind of provide like strategies for how to really build your economic infrastructure in terms of industry literature better in the cities. For example, how can we make bookstores better? Yeah. Okay. How can we make circulation better in terms of literature? How can we make our publishing better so that they can actually contribute to the economy? So there's that. And finally, it will force the LGU to institute laws
Yes.
to protect the sector.
Yeah.
Right now, there's none. So I met with mayor a few days ago. So there has to be an EO declaring that there should be a city of literature.
Yesterday lang.
Yeah, yesterday. And then we can create any resolutions, other laws that will actually strengthen more how the literary sector can be done in the city. So the law effect will be there to make actually writers and literary creatives' lives better in the city. Mag-force man sila.
Yeah.
Okay, this is an LGU program.
Yes. And also, ang recognition is international. Yeah.
Sito.
So regarding that, it's like what kind of responsibilities do you now have because of this title? Like
Well, just to keep everything going, basically. Okay, so like
We
yeah,
have to maintain.
for example,
yeah.
because I think okay, actually people kinda gave us some backlash when this happened. Like, why is Dumaguete secret literature? It's not like Paris. It's not like whatever.
Which is like a hurdle to overcome because you talk to the regular Dumagueteño, they don't know.
They don't know.
this
They don't know.
history.
They don't know about the
Which is
literary Dumaguete. So there's that. Because the thing is, when people think about literature, my god, like if it's a great city of literature, that means you have a lot of bookstores, that means you have a lot of publishers, and so on and so forth. But that's not the case. This designation is actually given to cities for a very unique aspect of literature that they do. For example, Edinburgh was declared a city of literature because they have the first and the oldest book fair in the world. A book fair that actually you can trace it back to the Middle Ages. Okay. Jakarta, it became a city of literature because they have the most bookstores.
in the world, in the city.
Here?
And
Yes.
and Dumaguete is only the second Southeast Asian city to be declared city of literature.
Yes.
So Jakarta. So there's Jakarta.
Yeah.
Okay. I was UE was declared a city of literature because of the international writing program.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that was really their only like entry.
Yes.
Yeah, like the biggest
So-
chance still.
So
Yes.
it's unique for every city.
Yes.
So when we sent out our application, I highlighted what do we have in Dumaguete. We have the oldest creative writing workshop in Asia. This is a Silliman Workshop, founded in 1962, the first one ever in Asia. Okay, we have the oldest creative writing program academic in the Philippines. The Silliman is the first one to offer that in 1951. We have what else? We have a national artist for literature. You did one a national artist for film, Edu Romero. Which is why when I actually thought of Edu Romero, who is also a writer, I actually thought of like our previous idea nga we could apply for city of music, and I was considering we cannot just really focus on poetry and fiction or drama as literature. So that's why our mantra for city of literature is City of Stories. # City of Stories. You know why? Because we're actually embracing all kinds of expression.
Yes.
So
Okay.
it's not just
Yep.
poetry,
But in-
it's just not playwriting, it's not just fiction.
So-
We're also doing songwriting.
Song-
He actually also considering visual arts. Like for example, with Dyke Cedinho publishing a book of his illustration. For us, that's literature. It's a book,
Yeah.
but that's art. So for us, that's
we
part
can frame it.
So-
stories.
Expanding to that, how do we make sure that this title benefits people outside the usual literary circle?
That's it.
That's it.
Okay, we're actually embracing the songwriters. I mean,
not just
who was that who became Nobel Prize winner for literature? Who is a songwriter? Bob Dylan. Bob Dylan was honored as a writer by the Nobel because of his songwriting. We have so many songwriters because of the Tower Project. We have so many theater artists because Yaka effects of the scripts. That's playwriting. We have so many filmmakers. How do they start film? By screenplays. That's writing. Okay. And a lot of our artists actually publish. A lot of our visual artists actually publish books.
Yeah.
Of the illustration. For us, that's literature. We're actually embracing all the our
praise.
part of our identity as city of literature. So it's not just the poets, it's not just the fictionists, it's not just the dramatists, it's actually all of us.
And then also another thing now we want to address is our literacy epidemic here. We have some of the lowest.
That's actually within our isang gani. Like you were saying, what can this do? The moment you become highlighted as a literature, it actually also highlights your challenges.
Yes, for sure.
And for sure, our part of our challenge is literacy. Like a few days ago, EDCOM, the Commission of Education, after it just came out with this study where they identified which the cities in the Philippines who have problems with regards to literacy, especially in the public school. And so we're not in the top 10, but we are
Part.
at 53%.
Yeah, 53%.
50% of our students here have trouble with reading and reading comprehension.
Yeah, not just reading English, but reading Tagalog, reading Bisaya.
And that also includes numbers, literacy.
I
Cannot read numbers anymore.
math. Lito ng
It's like for the younger generation, they can study.
Maybe where's the pandemic? Maybe because of our really, really effed up education system, whatever. So it highlights your problems, your issues. So we identified literacy to be a problem. But we do have some initiatives already, like private ones, like
Yeah, the son wheels.
they have really created a platform where they have demonstrated how to do this thing properly. Because usually before, when you're like, let's try to help literacy, and then hagal book donations lang.
Yeah,
And that's it. Done. But no, Virginia Valencia said, no, that's not enough. Yeah, to donate book, but we need to engage our
What they're doing is
so
amazing.
that they
I
love
really like their passion project. It's reading to kids every Saturday.
yeah, so making it fun.
They do that.
Yeah,
So they rotate in Valencia, and hopefully we can replicate that in Dumaguete something.
and then the Cebulan as well. Yeah,
Actually,
yeah.
for now, they're just doing Valencia because I think it's like a 4-month thing that they're doing. So it's like different barangays. Different barangays in Valencia for the entire duration, and then they're gonna transfer to another city. But then if there's others who's actually like interested to join their cause, they need to be trained a little.
Yeah.
Then it can be
That's-
replicated in other cities.
For the most part, that program is run by retired
Pictures. Yeah.
Dustata cannot do everything. So she had to like earn the value of the senior citizens of Valencia, especially the retired teachers.
Yes.
And we contribute by always volunteering. We want to read this every month or every 2 months or so.
It is. I really want to join one session in the.
And it's fun.
Yeah.
I like actually, like if you think about it, like every time we go there, like, oh my god, tomorrow's already we have to drive all the way to Valencia.
But then it's very fulfilling.
Oh yeah, I'm bring this spending that it's just very, very, I don't know, I like my feeling every time
It's fulfilling.
And it's not just limited to writers because we have Dr. Belen Kalingasyon and then other volunteers. And actually, if anyone who wants to volunteer, they just contact the Books on Wheels on Instagram and Facebook. And
And definitely put like links, in the podcast. So
Community involvement.
ask that up. Yeah, I run the come over. Yeah, they can talk more about.
So, because we are now a city of literature, how did you tie this up with Lit Fest? Obviously, it's like very tied up. It's such a prestige
To
thing.
be honest, Lit
Is
Fest
it?
was created to kind of be one of our pambato
Okay.
in the day. Okay. Our pambato was the Writers Workshop, the creative writing program Siliman. We also put there, we have a lot of infrastructures at the Siliman Library, the loos, that can hold plays, mga anak. So, yeah, and then of course we really founded the Lit Fest to really help us
Help us for
in the day.
this one. Okay. So this year's theme is transformation, right? But last year, if I remember correctly, it was stories, was it? City of Stories. And your lead artist for that is our very own Sil Forrest. How did that?
Because the first one was because we recognized that we need to have an iconic art to represent every year.
For the first year, it was
Scale.
And then the second year, it's our Sil
So yeah, so we asked Sil. That's my idea. That's Sil.
That was your first choice.
Yeah, and now it's
Amazing.
cut
At
back.
Banay for the first.
Maybe in the future Skype.
Oh, maybe.
Sorry. Also for all women.
all women so far.
Oh my god, the male artist will complain. Maybe we'll get dyke.
Let's not complain. Char.
Yeah.
We wanted to ask Herschel actually, but earlier Herschel has been busy with baby clinics. So.
Yeah, he had some news.
Yep.
So you guys have to have him soon. Okay, I'm gonna fit.
But I really insisted on you last year. I want Sil.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, again, visual artists are part of, as far as I'm concerned, is part of the literary landscape.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so can you expand a little on why you chose this year's theme? Why transformation?
Transformation.
Because that's a really funny story because we were trying to think of like ideas and it was nearing the end of the year and we were thinking well, why don't we look at the colors that are like being pitched for 2026? And so we looked it up and it was transformational, a transformative deal.
Yeah.
And so we were like, okay, maybe this could be the idea.
Transformation.
And then
But actually, like, visually, it was different.
yeah, I think because Ernest wanted to also create like momentum from that idea. So we really tried to generate from that idea. And then with the idea of like Dumaguete probably becoming a city of literature and then eventually happening.
Yeah, so the transformation of being a wannabe to actually becoming a city literature. And also, we know nga we're going to see, for example, Ernest is leaving soon
Yeah.
for the UK. So
Hopefully,
that's part of the changes, the transformation that we are with.
Yeah,
And so things like that. Like we're just acknowledging the fact that we are
changing.
evolving,
Yeah.
changing.
Which is really funny because it ended up being the color of the year ended up being white.
So, but it's just like Pantone, right? That's just that. But there's still other.
There are
Like is the most popular one.
It is, though. It is.
I think Color Lovers was the one that had teal. And so we were like, yeah, screw it.
Why you want to see Panto?
Pantone's color is like Cloud Dancer, which is white.
why? It's just basically
But anyways,
Yeah, we ran with the color scheme, which is being used sa logo drawn by Kat Banay.
Yeah.
And it's a really interesting mix of like mature colors. We have a little mustard, a little teal, very regal.
still kind of tied in with your first year because in the first year it was very earth tones, like very mustardy.
Yeah, we didn't plan that. But Gail just like
Gail just did
ran with it.
yeah.
So this year it was really planned with the colors. Okay, but I still like how it tied into like the first year. There's still a connection between that, and I like that. Yeah. So
yeah, and we wanted to ask, but we were curious about like how literature, like can literature like actually transform or like influence identity or
Yeah.
community or policies here.
We actually
The fact of reading and the fact of writing, those are very
exploratory.
these things for like self-identity. Like for the most part, especially if you are of the literary bent, you basically try to express yourself.
That's true.
By writing. But if you're an artist, maybe drawing. Like I know Robert Alejandro, for example, whenever he travels, he draws. Like
Sketch
he
it.
draws.
Yeah.
He used to sketch. So there's that. But me, every time I travel, for example, to express my own like experience of like going to this place, I always write short essays.
Yeah. And then inversely, as me, I grew up not traveling at all. Like very like not yeah. Cannot travel. Like the farthest would probably be Cebu. And so reading was like a portal going into other dimensions, other lives. And like you don't necessarily leave your chair, but like because of reading, you can step into someone else's shoes.
basically, you're able to live
And
different lives, like multiple lives from
Sense of your life. That's why, for example, like if, for a lot of people, maybe not the illiterate ones, but and whenever they go through some very, very traumatic switches in their lives, whatever, or maybe even happy ones, when they want to express themselves, it's usually through writing. Like when you're love, you write love poetry.
Yeah.
And things like that.
Last year when I was like last year 2 years ago when I was dealing with like a lot of mental stuff, that's when I started reading again. And because of also listening to audiobooks,
So yeah.
that's why I was able to like read over 200 books in a space of a year.
So yeah, right now I'm just talking about the writing part. For example, like during the pandemic or when the 9/11 happened, a lot of people wrote poetry.
Yeah.
Just to process what they're going through. So that processing thing, that's expression, that's literature.
Yeah.
Okay. And then there's also the reading. Because when you're reading, you're basically allowing yourself to get in touch with the minds of humanity and finally finding out now what you're feeling is not unique.
It's shared.
Yes,
It's a shared experience, and then all these languages tell you now we've been through that before. We're here for you. So you being able to like get in touch with that through reading,
Find comfort.
that's a very very good thing in terms of like processing again our experience as human beings. So result the reading and the writing, that's literature, and that touches everyone.
Okay. So we have another question. So how do you hope attendees will personally feel transformed after after the festival? How do you want piece of it?
The thing is, the way we design it is basically through educational panels. So a lot of our attendees, when they go there, they basically learn some nitty-gritties about specific issues in literature. So for example, we have topics on genre. So writing fiction, writing poetry, whatever. But there are also things like how is journalism handling, the world right now. Do we especially do AI journalism, the AI, things like that. So
Such an
a lot of our panels are really all about, like to educate people, teachers, students, whoever, about literature and the issues it kind of is connected to. But also we do have some events that really touch on like personal expressions. For example, like
We do.
small workshops where they're actually like allowed to write, and then hopefully through that they can get in touch who they are as human beings and hopefully leave that particular session knowing more about themselves. So hope touching them. So for example, last year, because I cannot say no to Gail, she told me, Ian, give me a 1 hour children's writing workshop. I was like,
1 hour.
guys, I teach children's writing for an entire semester and it's not even enough. So, but fine, I cannot say no to Gail. So I designed something 45 minutes and
Made it
at
happen.
the end,
Made it happen.
oh that some people were crying
Moved.
Because of the emotion.
because part of my process is like if you want to write children's stories, the best way to do that is to get in touch with your inner
Player.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
so it's just say dug into your childhood memory.
To actually,
Enroll in that class.
So
I need to
that's why my children's workshop, I always tell the students that, "Fine, guys, there will be sessions in our workshop where you'll be crying.
Crying.
Except for this year, nobody cried.
oh, that's okay. That's
So
different.
yeah, I call that particular exercise limbering up, where they have to like to remember who they were when they were kids. Because in a sense, I want them to write to themselves when they were kids, like write stories
That's such a
that will actually be for you when you were a kid. So, for example, one particular picture book in my writing workshop right now is about the fear of mascots. Okay, because what my Jollibee. So because my student said that when she was a kid, she used to be scared of Jollibee and Ronald McDonald. And
And there's a lot of kids.
yeah, so she wrote an entire picture book about a girl, Althea, who is celebrating her birthday, but her mom took her to a restaurant that has a tamarao as a mascot, and she's scared of this particular tamarao. But in the end, she gets over her fear.
Oh, that's nice.
But she was writing for herself as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
I have one student who is autistic, so I told him write to your autistic self when you were a kid. So he wrote a short story about a kid who cannot really express himself well, but wanting to play with other children, but the other children reject him, and he doesn't know how to process that, but eventually learns how. So yeah, so they're writing to themselves when they were kids.
So for this year, like what kind of conversations are you actually hoping to spark, and what kind of difficult topics are you not shying away from?
We really actually really want to address what the world is like right now, like with the war, with the
very timely.
with Macca. So we actually, this is actually our problem right now because we really have problems with
Getting
because
important.
we actually invited all of our writers like a year ago, and all of them said yes.
But then now
In the process of like
Yeah.
we cannot go, like, so that's part of our headache right now. So yeah, so we really wanted to have a panel where journalists who happen to be literary artists as well can actually process how their journalism is actually like contributing to the whole discourse about what's happening in the world right now, but writing about it in a very very creative way. Like for example, Patricia Angelisa, writing about the whole DDS thing, the whole going in her book, some killing. But the Patricia Evangelista book,
not familiar. Sorry.
Some men need killing.
some needs killing, something like that, which is a huge bestseller. Okay, so that was my goal really for this year.
Yeah.
To make us really come to grips with what's happening in the world, and hopefully the guests that we have invited will be well.
Hopefully. Let's hope for the best. So we're actually starting to come to an end to this episode. But before we're gonna have part 2 and part 3. Don't worry.
Iipon, kill.
Some people hear this appeal like the book. It's a very very good book. I like that book because it talks about the EJK, but no, she actually framed everything in terms of like the power of language, because a lot of what Duterte did was like just pronounce things, Dapat sa patunay. And then the pronounced smell could lead to killings. So the power of language. That's very
It's
deep.
interesting.
So before we end this episode, I just want to ask, what are you most excited about for this year's Lit Fest?
We're probably the worst people to ask because we're so anxious. We're so nervous.
You must still have like the excitement energy. So what are you looking forward to?
Me just meeting friends.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because I usually invite my friends who are writers. And it's just that's the I I really don't get excited about anything that I do. But I get the excitement more when I'm doing it, when I do it, and then at the end, like, oh, we
did it.
They're like, oh, how did that happen? So it's more like that. I
Okay.
cannot feel anything before.
Right. Yeah.
No, definitely.
But ask them again.
Okay,
during the event.
I'm still going to be asking this same question probably in like after the events. But since we're doing this podcast actually because we want to invite people to attend the Lit Fest, right? So who should that be attending? Is everybody welcome? Can anybody?
Free.
Anybody? Yeah.
It's free, and we really tried as much as we can to like get name artists to come.
Mhm.
To celebrate some of the art.
So it's not necessarily just writers or creatives. It can be anybody.
So, diba?
Literary and
But of course, it's really for readers and writers and literary enthusiasts. That's really our main target. But at the same time, we want to like educate people about, like let's say reading proper information, battling fake news. This is really for everyone, especially students and teachers.
Students and teachers.
so what can you say to someone who finds literary festivals intimidating? Just like a short and how can you
It can worry blended, especially if you go to like Cebu, whatever, like I believe so formal.
Yeah.
That's why we want to make it chill. Come wearing your chinela or your sando,
Pambalay.
no? Pambalay. So yeah, so we're really trying to make it very very chill.
Very
Just
chill.
to be welcoming to everybody.
Because even if you're just there and you do not speak a lick of like English or Bisaya, like being exposed means just being part of the community. Even if you are like literally there, like location wise, you are there. You are exposed to the different flavors and different people who are enthusiastic about a certain thing. And sometimes that passion is infectious.
Yeah.
That's true.
And really, it's just to like signal to like writers or Rias and Dumaguete, we are here. There's a community because a lot of them actually don't know all of these things are going on. So, for example, one student who's actually planning to transfer to creative writing, I met her yesterday in the office, and she didn't even know that there was a creative writing program in Siliman until her auntie told her. And she didn't even know that we have a bookstore. She didn't even know we have the Lit Fest. I mean, it's been running for 3 years. She didn't even know that there was a workshop, and she's already a writer. When she's frightened. So so if we can reach out to those people who are
That's why
writers, who are
doing
lyrics,
this podcast as well. Like,
all of these things are actually happening to Dumaguete. Like I just replied in a thread account. Like somebody asked, is there like a reading group in Dumaguete that I can like join? Silent Book Club. We've been existing for more than a year now. So yeah, it's just to put out information out there nga all of this exists
exactly.
and to be part of the community.
So, what can like first time attendees expect from the festival?
Lots of talking.
And then just the chillness of everything, because you're there, so like there will be booths,
Yeah.
Books.
yeah,
For sure.
ice cream named after writers.
Yeah.
Can I say this? I don't know. Like
It's okay.
I actually insisted that because we did this last year. I love it so much. I really want Tanduay to be part of our partner again.
Oh, okay.
Like if like yeah, last year the Tanduay thing was such a huge hit, but they were only there for a day. Like 3 days.
And we're particularly clear.
We want Tanduay because Tanduay is our
It's Dumaguete drink. We drink it like water. But we're very clear that during the Children's Day on the Lit Fest, there are no alcohol whatsoever. We're very responsible in that aspect.
Imagine other lit fest in the Philippines and like embracing Tanduay.
Away from it, yeah.
I'm so proud. I'm so proud of the fact that Tanduay is part of our thing.
Culture na.
It was
Oh, this
like
it's cool to get it.
Okay, so
We're advertising you.
My goodness. Hopefully. Okay, so what would success look like for you at the end of this event?
That everything just runs smoothly. To be honest, we have our hopes are on the ground because with everything that's happening now and with the added,
Yeah.
with the fact na we have an energy crisis, and then all of our journalists are not available for us to like come over here for a day, come over here for an afternoon.
Very difficult given the situation right now.
So if our programs congeal and people come, that's already
Yeah.
success.
That's now.
But we might have to make lots of changes because so many things are happening right now.
You have to adjust.
But they have to just go ahead with it and
Make
make it happen the best way we can.
And I hope people enjoy
I'm pretty sure they will.
because bringing people of different backgrounds can be fun, but also can be a little harrowing if they like don't mesh at all. So
So another choice is the fact that we really wanted to put it in April because that's National Literature Month.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Please mention when Lit Fest
It's April 17th to
and
20th.
where.
It has always been April. In
April.
the first year, we had it in the first week of April. And in the second year, we had it at the end of April. So now we decided let's put it in the middle of April. This will say it. So to be how
April
17 to 20.
But basically 7th to 19, but we do have some events in the 20th.
Yeah, so like book signings, meet and
We also are aware nga some schools are no longer open in April. Let's say no. So, but we need students.
Yeah.
To be part of it. So we're actually very open to the idea of transferring the next edition of the Late Fest in a different month, part of the February, because it's really difficult to like have a
That
fest.
also
but-
like Arts Month.
Yeah.
For February.
So there's that. That I know nga we're transferring it from Literature Month. It should be April, but we cannot. Like I think we will have pro audience if there's more students in town. So, but we can do other things probably in April that does not necessarily a Lit Fest day.
Maybe like a
Kasi another thing, maybe to advertise right now, we actually have another big thing coming after Lit Fest,
yeah, hopefully.
a book fair.
Okay.
Midnight fair, which is tested by the National Book Development Board, maybe sometime in
In June.
okay, which will be held in Pililac.
Okay. That's
Fingers crossed.
so. But Lit Fest will mainly be held at ABCD, Arts and Design Collective, EJ Blanco, Piapi, Dumaguete.
Yes.
So that's the main place for it.
Some satellite venues like the Presidencia, like Buglas Cafe, but
Oh.
mostly in
80s.
If you want to learn more about Lit Fest, you may contact us or just read. We're going to be putting some information in our social media, so that Facebook page. Yeah, in our Facebook page.
Yeah, you do have
We'll just
Facebook and
Dumaguete Literary Festival. And guys, I cannot divulge the names of our guests yet. You can still like I don't know, but a lot of them are really very, very famous writers,
So hopefully,
journalists.
we'll have them in the next episode.
Yes.
So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed our talk today. I know it's been it's a little like fast paced or maybe overwhelming, but I had so much fun.
Me also.
Yeah, it was so enlightening, and we really enjoyed and having you two here. So thank you so much for being here, and also to our videographer.
Shout out to John.
Thank you, John.
Thank you. Yeah, and did you guys do you have anything else to
Do you want to plug
anything or
Oh, I have 2 books coming out soon. Okay, it's for launching after during the Lit Fest. One is my collection of speculative fiction titled The Last Days of Magic, which will be published by Andrea. So it's my book of horror stories, fantasy, sci-fi.
I might need to get
And my artist for that is Dyke Cedinho.
Yeah, so local.
He's a local. So, and then hopefully we'll also be launching my other book, which is the Judless City Imagine, being published by Deep Publishing, which is a collection of stories, poetry, and drama about Dumaguete to celebrate the UNESCO designation.
Oh, that's something to look forward to. So, okay. So, to our listeners, if you have any questions or, just send us a message. And Thank you so much for listening. Thank you. So, yeah. How do we end this? Anyways, bye. This is Kyle. Have a lovely day. Bye bye.
A final thank you to our sponsors, Pinspired Art Souvenirs and Pinspired Art Gallery, for supporting this episode of Small City Creative Lives. Your support helps us continue telling stories that matter. And to the Duma Lit Fest team, thank you for welcoming us and for the work you do in nurturing the creative community.